Hello everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to learn all about one of nature's most interesting little characters, the squirrel. From their unique diversity to intriguing behaviors, there's a lot more to these furry rodents than meets the eye. Let's start with a look at how widespread and diverse the squirrel family truly is. Did you know there are over 278 known species of squirrels worldwide that have adapted to all sorts of different environments? That's a whole lot of squirrels. They range dramatically in size too. At one end you have pygmy squirrels from Africa that are tiny, under 10 inches long. But in India, you can find giant squirrels that are over 3 feet long. Now those are some big squirrels. Regardless of their size or location, all squirrels share the trait of continuously growing teeth. That's right, their teeth never stop growing. This helps them maintain their gnawing habit, which is crucial for obtaining and processing food. Their four front teeth grow at a rate of around 6 inches per year, so they have to constantly wear them down through gnawing. Without this perpetual tooth growth, their teeth would simply grow too long and prevent them from eating. Nature sure thought of everything when it comes to squirrel dental care. Now, while their teeth may keep growing, one potential downside is the interruptions squirrels can unwittingly cause to our power infrastructure. Squirrels are one of the primary causes of power outages, as they occasionally crawl into transformer boxes and energized parts of the electrical grid. In extreme cases, their interference has even been linked to dips in the stock market when major outages occur. Utilities have to be vigilant about squirrel-proofing equipment to minimize these sorts of electrical mishaps. Speaking of electrical issues, have you ever wondered what squirrels do when winter weather sets in and food becomes scarce? Usually being solitary foragers, many tree squirrels will form groups and nest together for warmth during severe cold spells. These group nests are referred to as a scurry or dray. Some ground squirrels like prairie dogs take it a step further with their advanced social behaviors. Prairie dog colonies resemble little prairie towns complete with alarm calls and other complex language systems to communicate danger and coordinate food resources. Truly astonishing how sophisticated their societies can be. Did you know the very word squirrel traces back to Greek origins? Its etymological roots mean shadow tail, aptly describing how squirrels use their long bushy tails to shade and hide their small bodies. Centuries later, we still see this defensive behavior in play today as squirrels dash from cover to cover with tails held high. While tree squirrels have always called woodlands home, gray squirrels have adapted remarkably well to urban living. In the mid-1800s, gray squirrels were actually quite rare in cities across America. However, conservation efforts were made to reintroduce them to public parks, where they have thrived ever since in naturalized, people-friendly settings. As a result, gray squirrels are now a common urban wildlife sighting nearly worldwide. However, not all squirrel introductions have been so peaceful. When American gray squirrels were brought to places like the United Kingdom and Ireland, they created major problems as an invasive species. With no natural predators, gray squirrels outcompeted and threatened the smaller indigenous red squirrel populations. Conservation groups have worked to protect red squirrels and establish preserves, but the invasion highlights how even well-meaning introductions can go awry. Where squirrels have established, they play a pivotal role as both predator and prey in their ecosystem's complex food web. From hawks and snakes that dine on squirrels, to squirrels foraging nuts, seeds, fungi and even each other's buried caches, their presence supports a web of species. Historically, humans also utilized squirrels as an abundant wild protein source. And lately, some proponents have encouraged more invasivorism, or eating invasive pests, as a novel way of reducing issues like overbrowsing by high squirrel populations. Whether as food or predator fodder, squirrels factually sustain many other organisms wherever they live. When it comes to successfully storing food long-term, squirrels have evolved some tricky tactics to outwit potential thieves of their buried treasures. One is employing deception caches, digging dummy holes but not burying anything, only to stash their actual hoard elsewhere as camouflage. It's clear these furry creatures aren't just cute, but quite clever problem solvers too. Natural selection has also granted squirrels strategies for food security during lean winter months. For ground squirrels that dig burrows, some species literally shut down their basic functions through hibernation. But others employ scatter hoarding by carefully caching individual nuts, seeds or fungi in numerous small hiding places spread far and wide. This hedges their bets, ensuring not all their eggs are in one basket if predators hijack some of the stashes. Either way, making it through winter requires specialized adaptations these squirrels have mastered. Speaking of special adaptations, have you heard of rattlesnake perfume utilized by certain ground squirrels? It seems these enterprising rodents gather discarded rattlesnake skin, then rub and store the potent scent glands on their bodies. The rattlesnake smell is thought to fool predators into assuming the squirrel is an angry serpent best left alone. Truly an ingenious form of chemical defense. While most squirrels fit the typical gray or red coloration we expect, some rare color variations do appear. Instances of melanism, where the animal is all black, or leucism, where it's all white, have been documented in gray squirrels. But just as with human color diversity, natural squirrel hues span a subtle spectrum beyond black or white. In addition to adaptations in color and behavior, some squirrel traits have offered medical insights for humans. Studies on the ground squirrel's ability to reduce non-essential blood flow to the brain during hibernation may yield clues for potential stroke treatments in people. By learning to reversibly control blood pressure and minimize damage during reduced circulation, these insights could help patients down the line. Nature may hold more biomedical keys than we presently understand. Switching gears now to one of the most unique members of the squirrel clan, none other than the flying squirrel. While they can't truly fly like birds, these nocturnal squirrels have developed a remarkable way of gliding through the forest canopy using folds of furry skin stretched between their legs and tail. Some species can glide over 150 feet with amazing dexterity. Their acrobatic talents make them appear to fly as they swiftly travel between trees in search of food, avoiding predators below. A truly unique method of arboreal transport for such small critters. Many of you are likely familiar with the fame of certain groundhogs related to annual weather forecasting traditions. However, while cute, their true abilities to predict extended weather trends is somewhat murky and inconsistent according to most scientific analyses. Punxsutawney Phil attracts massive crowds every February 2nd for his Groundhog Day prediction, but his accuracy hovers around only 39 to 41%. Other ground squirrels like marmots fare little better at extended forecasting, more adept at short-term changes. So while the folklore persists charmingly, the reality is ground squirrels aren't always meteorological marvels. When it comes to more reliable communication, tree squirrels have developed complex dialects within their communities. A myriad of calls, chirps, tail signals and other visual/auditory cues allow them to effectively convey messages like territorial claims, mating invitations, predator warnings and more between each other on the forest floor and treetop canopy. Their high-frequency alarm chucks travel surprisingly far too. It's clear these vocal acrobats have a sophisticated language all their own worthy of dedicated research. Speaking of defenses against predators, one of the most energy-efficient escape tactics is zigzagging. When alarmed by birds of prey swooping down or other ground threats, squirrels will abruptly change directions in a serpentine pattern to confuse and evade attacks. Their agility and accelerated bursts of speed make them challenging catches, though many still fall prey. It's just one example of how natural selection has honed squirrels into formidable little survivors through millennia of trial and error. Finally, while raiding squirrel caches for buried nuts, have you ever thought those unrecovered snacks may aid new tree growth? Squirrels are effectively miniature planters, as nuts buried yet uneaten can often sprout into new saplings if conditions allow. Over time, Their forgetfulness cumulatively influences whole forests, whether intentionally or not. Their plant-dispersing role as accidental arborists complements their nut harvester roles year after year in perpetuating tree populations. A nice symbiosis indeed. All in all, I hope you've come to appreciate squirrels in a new light after learning some of the incredible diversity and intriguing habits within this widespread family. From communities to color variations, teeth care to tree planting, the more we observe, the more complexities are revealed.